So, if you are struggling with jumper's knee and you don't know what to do and you are completely lost, I'm hoping this video can help you. We'll go over my experience, the cause of jumper's knee, and my solution, the thing that worked for me. So, my experience with jumper's knee, I've had jumper's knee, or I had jumper's knee, it seems like my entire life. I started playing basketball with like 11, 12. I got pretty good at it. Around 13 is when I started suffering from jumper's knee. And it lasted until, so I played in high school, I played a little in college, and then I played overseas a little in Germany. Now I just play basketball just for fun, and my jumper's knee is finally, it's gone now, which doesn't make sense. I'd probably be in the NBA right now if I didn't have jumper's knee in high school. I could dream. Anyways, my tendon would swell up with everything that I did. I think so you have different levels of patellar tendonitis, jumper's knee. So there's level one where it's like after the exercise you feel it. Then there's level two, then it's like it's during, and then there's like level three when you always have it. I definitely had level three, just chronic tendon that was swollen. I can't remember a time where I touched my knee and it didn't hurt. So touched my patellar tendon and it didn't hurt. My patellar tendon was always swollen. It's really bad. Like I don't know how I even played basketball with my niece, like, and it seemed like I was the only one with like there were people who got injured and then they had knee issues, but like I wasn't really injured. I just had swollen patellar tendons, right? Both sides. It really impacted my game. Like some days, because my knees were just so swollen, like I knew, oh, okay, today's not going to be a great game because, yeah, I'm going to have to rely. I could still drive to the basket, and during the game, it was okay, but I just really couldn't perform. I couldn't really jump high. It was a horrible experience overall with jumper's knee. I was always icing my kneecaps. Like it was bad. I always had to ice my knees. I mean, this isn't normal. Like I was the only one doing it, it seemed, right? Also the kneecap position. So looking at other people's kneecaps, because I mean, when you struggle with this, you compare your knees to other people's knees, right? Looking at other people's kneecaps, my kneecap always seemed like it was lifted. It never seemed like it was in the right position. Like my kneecap always felt like it was out of place. And my VMO also, if I look at like other people's VMOs, the quad muscle, um, I have to honestly admit it's a little embarrassing. Mine was just really underdeveloped. And also, anytime I like squatted, I only felt my hip flexors and my outer quad. Let's talk about the cause of patellar tendonitis, jumper's knee. Just basic common sense. Anytime you're having issues with the joint, most likely there's an imbalance somewhere. And this is the exact case with my knee. I had shoulder issues, it was the same. I had hip issues, it was the same. There's an imbalance somewhere. So that means when you're bending the knee, when you're jumping on it, running on it, or you're doing something with your elbow, your shoulder, when you're bending the joint, there's not enough support and there's maybe one muscle doing too much, which places too much pressure on the joint. And this was the same thing with my knees. For me, my kneecap was never aligned and my VMO was completely underdeveloped and my adductors were horrible. Very bad. I was definitely pigeon-toed. It seemed like my feet would turn in all the time. I don't know why or where this came from. I know in basketball, a lot of basketball players push their knees in when they jump. So when I went for a jump shot, I would push my knees in sometimes. When I went to dunk the ball, I would push my knees in sometimes. It just naturally, my knees would cave in. So I don't know if this comes from basketball, just playing basketball where we like to push our knees in, or if this was caused from my anterior pelvic tilt that I had, or if something was just off. I don't know what it was. And this was 100% the reason why I had jumper's knee. This imbalance. So me pushing my knees in, my adductors being extremely weak, and my ability to abduct my hip just being off. And plus, I was also way too comfortable sitting cross-legged. Like it just felt like just me bringing my knees in together, crossing my legs. This is just way too comfortable for some reason. So let's talk about the solution. The thing that solved my jumper's knee. Oh my goodness, if I would have known this, I'd probably be in the NBA right now. The thing that solved my jumper's knee was improving my ability to abduct my hip, my strengthening my adductors. You're working on that is specifically that at the entire adductor, specifically that pectineus muscle. I mean, how often do we lift our fully abduct our hip? And with this exercise, you can really work the entire adductor, specifically that pectineus muscle. And that really, really helped me to strengthen my adductors. There's a lot of adductor exercises out there. Copenhagen, forward bend exercise that a lot of people like to do. There's the sumo squat where you're pushing your knees out. None of these really targeted my adductors like this exercise here. So I can definitely recommend doing this exercise. If you have resistance bands, you could do them. The goal with this exercise is to keep your glutes, so squeeze your butt and not get into an anterior pelvic tilt, so you can kind of, that helps you to kind of not target the pectineus muscle. So really try to work on keeping your pelvis aligned and just lifting as high as you can. So that really targets the adductors, and then really working on your ability to just lift your leg up out to the side. I don't, how often do you do that? I mean, I never did. And when I first started, lifting my leg out to the side was nearly impossible. Like it was something that was so weak. You look at like dancers and Pilates people and some yoga people, and it's like they all can easily kind of lift their leg out to the side. And where me, I completely struggled with that. So doing that exercise, just lifting the leg out to the side, I also really felt my obliques big time. That helped me a lot. Side bends, so side lifts, that helped me a whole lot, really by focusing on the obliques and also pushing my hip. Again, the side bend where you're pushing your hip in is similar to the adductor exercise as well. You're using your adductors, you're lengthening the adductors, specifically that pectineus muscle, and you're using your obliques. So those exercises really help me to kind of correct my weak adductors, really, or my weak ability to abduct. Start off with those, and then it's just about bending the knee to really develop the entire quad. Once you do those exercises, so that adductor exercise really helped me to feel my adductors, feel my VMO, feel my hamstring when I'm just doing a basic squat. So now I don't do any type of, I know there's tons of exercises out there for your quads, different variations. Now I just bend the knee with a basic squat, and I can feel my entire leg, my glute, my hamstring, my quad, my VMO, which is the main one, to stabilize the knee. I really feel that now. So I'd recommend, if I were you, start and you're struggling with jumper's knee, I'd recommend starting off with just basic, because you probably, like me, you probably have a hard time bending your knee fully, which I did completely because my tendon would just swell up. So if I were you, I'd start with just a few weeks with this exercise, really working on your ability to adduct the hip. After a few weeks, I would then start bending the knee fully. And you can bend the knee fully in a squat, in a single leg squat. You've probably seen the ATG split squat where you're pushing your knee, basically pushing the knee slightly over the toe. Every joint you have, you really want to bend it full range of motion. And bending the knee full range of motion has really helped me to, once my adductors were in place, bending the knee fully has really helped me to develop the entire quad. So I really love, honestly, I love the squat. That has really helped me, just the basic squat. You can elevate your heels a little bit if you want to. That helps you to push your knees over your toes. Pushing your knees over your toes just puts more pressure onto the knee or onto the quad. So I feel my entire quad when doing this. Also my adductors and my hamstrings I feel as well, especially on that single leg squat that I do. So this is something that I'm trying to improve now, is the single leg squat. Just, I can't do my body weight yet, but I'm using, with assistance, I can kind of pull myself a little bit, which takes weight off. If you're having a hard time bending the knee fully, try to just do less weight. So that means either using a resistance band, doing it next to a chair so that you can kind of push up off against the chair. That will really honestly help you with your ability to bend the knee fully. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Any concerns, anything you're worried about, let me know if this works for you, how the adductor exercise, the ability to abduct, what is your ability to abduct the hip? Can you lift your knee out to the side? Can you lift it out high? Yeah, just let me know how that is in the comments and then we'll see. All right, see ya.